For this episode of Spider-Man Theory, where I, your host Chris, from the Comics Lounge, talk about all things Spider-Man in the MCU, comics, and everything Spidey related, we're going to be talking a lot about Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, the post-credit scene. Now, this has been out for quite some time, but I'm still going to issue a quick little spoiler warning, so if you have not seen it, turn this off, put it in your watch later file, and seriously, go watch Venom 2. It is worth watching. It is a solid movie. Yes, it's getting some hate. Yes, it wasn't exactly what we wanted it to be, but go watch it. With all that being said, that's your warning. Go watch it and then come back and watch this. Even if you only watch the post-credit scene before you watch this, please do, because it is definitely worth it. So, let's get right into this, because this is absolutely amazing. The fact that we have two words in the post-credit scene really speaks volumes. Those two words speak so much to what is going to come and what will be a part of the MCU and Sony Spider-Verse for years to come. We've already known this because of Gore the God Butcher and the all-black Necrosword from what I talked about yesterday. And then I'm just going to read it because this is absolutely amazing. The symbiote admits hiding from its host, Eddie Brock, explaining that 80 billion light years of Hive knowledge across universes would explode your tiny brain. So, the symbiote hive mind that was set up in the first film and then corresponds to the comics themselves, specifically from the Absolute Carnage storyline and the Knull storyline, really begins to speak to what is truly possible in the MCU and Sony Spider-Verse right now involving Venom. The fact that he said hive mind at all, that is how the god of symbiotes Knull communicates with every single living symbiote in the entire universe. And that they have a multiversal hive mind means that Knull is somewhere out there in the multiverse controlling these symbiotes. Now, we saw this in The King in Black. We saw all of this kind of go down during that story where Eddie was in and out of the hive mind and in and out of this like symbiote graveyard and whatnot. Like, it's just an absolutely amazing place to be. Sony has done a phenomenal job being able to build this up so that it is more than one movie. So that it's not just, hey, we're going to say hive mind and that's that. But that it's going to be something even crazier than that. So let's get into the comic book origin of the hive mind. In the comics, the origin of the symbiotes has always been like retconned or rewritten, and currently the most modern origin story for the symbiotes is that they predate any bit of the multiverse, and that they were created, as we've talked about all week, by Knull. Knull is a being born out of the darkness, the King in Black. So he lived in the void before the Big Bang. He was alive in the darkness. He was darkness. He is the Lord of the Abyss, the God of the Void, the God of the symbiotes. And he created the Necrosword, the All Black, in order to lead fight or campaign war against the light and pretty much everything in the universe that stood for the light. And if it wasn't for a couple of gods in gold suits, he would have been successful. But then we get into Venom and Clintar, and the symbiotes actually lock Knull up. And it seems as though we're living in a universe where Knull is locked up, but could, depending on what happens in the next Venom movie, if they go the Absolute Carnage storyline, that is what releases Knull. I can't wait to see if they bring the Absolute Carnage storyline to life, or if they go back a little bit and do the Maximum Carnage storyline. I won't be upset, We know that Carnage obviously is not dead. Cletus Cassidy has lost his head more times than I can count in the comics, and that's just that. Like that is what it is. We saw it in Venom 2. That's why I believe it was kind of shorter, was because they wanted to show us different things without giving us too many pieces to the puzzle. And the fact that the symbiote lives within Cletus's blood is that as long as he has a drop of blood left, the symbiote can rebuild Cletus. Like, that's just how it is. They are like perfectly bonded in a physical standpoint, not in a mental standpoint. So with all that being said, Knull is in the MCU. Knull is in the Spider-Verse. And I can't wait to talk about Knull and so much more tomorrow, because we also have to get into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Because, I mean, if we're going to go multiverse, we got to go all the way multiverse. So, with all that being said, Spider-Man Theory, friends and family, loungers alike, thank you so much for watching. Stay nerdy, comic fam. And as always, enjoy the comics, because that's what makes this so much fun. Thank you for watching, and go check out the videos from the rest of this week before you see our live stream tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. Check it out.